have two sort of modulation channels, I suppose you could consider them. Both set up initially with LFOs. LFOs, shapes from triangle, pulse, reverse source, saw, random, and then you've got programmable sources there. You've got high range, sync it to the arpeggiator, and keyboard reset. So I suppose the best way to do this is just to start sort of playing with them. So filter one, both LFOs are hardwired to pitch and to filter, so that you can, no matter what else you do, you can always have the LFO and the pitch and the filter, or the modulation. I shouldn't say the LFO because it might not be an LFO because you might have programmed it to be something else. Let's take sync off for now. So that goes pretty high and pretty low. So is that 0.1 hertz? So it goes from slow. You can see the indicator here shows you where it is on the voltage that's coming out of it, I suppose. Now we're in high range. It goes from, which is still quite low, but well into the audible. Which is pretty cool. When the sync's on, it'll sync sort of quarters and dotted and triplets and eighths and sixteenths and whatnot, according to what the arpeggiator is doing. So let's put it on a pulse here, it might be more obvious. Get the gist. Obviously, syncing the two of them together and doing different things, you can get all sorts of brilliant sort of rhythms going on with all sorts of destinations. Just madness, that is, but you know, you get the gist. So yeah, so we have keyboard reset as well. So every time you hit the keyboard, it will start the LFO again. So every time let's take it a bit quicker. It might be more obvious then. Every time I hit the key, the LFO resets. Which is quite cool. It's really handy actually to do that if you're doing things in sync, to put them both onto keyboard reset to get them both acting at the same time. Maybe when the noise isn't quite so mental. Right, okay, stop messing about. Let's get them back to sort of standard. So they'll adjust the pitch of oscillator 1 and oscillator 2. You can do both at once or one at a time on either of these, plus the filter. So adjusting the pitch of 1, just the pitch of 2. Let's put 2 on, shall we? And 1 stays the same. But quite nice if you put hard sync on. Filter. So bipolar as well, so it will drop it down as well as increase it. So let's say the filter will drop down rather than go up. So with 0 LFO, 0 modulation, increasing the filter, decreasing the filter, so they all do that. Down here we've got sort of standard routing, oscillator 1 wave, oscillator 2 wave, so you can have oscillator 1 wave, can do a PWM there, pulse width modulation, but you can do it on both. Or just on 2, or just on 1. Noise level. That's bringing it again, do it as a bipolar, you can then reduce it. It's really nice. Other destinations, LFO2 is modulated by LFO1, or LFO1 is modulated by LFO2, the voice level. And this is brilliant. This is a lovely way of doing this. On the Voyager, for example, if you're trying to modulate a various source, you've got to go into the menus, and it's a right old pain. So you sort of tend not to do stuff that is a pain to do. Here, hit the destination, twist the knob. Oh, well, shouldn't do. That's taking that straight to oscillator 1, oscillator 2 wave. If I do that on that, takes it to there. But if I hold that and do resonance, for example, it will adjust the resonance. Take it down, maybe. Or the multi-drive. Let's hit the multi-drive with the LFO. Get the idea. So anything on the panel, effectively, you can adjust. So a nice one that you see at the very start of this video, I showed one of, I think it's bank 1, preset 1, is where they're adjusting the slope. So with one of the LFOs, so you'd hit the destination button, press slope, turn it down in this case, I think. Now, what we've got here is the controller section here is automatically set up for aftertouch to adjust it by 50%. So we're only getting 50% of the adjustment with the modulation knob. But if I hit the aftertouch hard, you get the whole range. Took me ages to figure that out when I first got this. I thought it was knackered. I thought that, it wasn't calibrated properly, and it got moved to send me the calibration files. Turns out it's just that this controller is set up, this modulation section is set up so that it's controlled 50% by the aftertouch as an initial patch, and this one is set up to adjust, to use the modulation wheel 100%. So just bear that in mind every time you adjust any of these. So play with that using the fine-tune knob. So now you will see it's using the whole width of that because it's not being adjusted by anything except for the modulation 2 amount here. So yeah, pretty cool. So let's have a look at doing something sort of vaguely useful or nice with it. Let's put them into sync to start. Let's do the filter maybe. Let's take that off for now. Take mod wheel off. Let's go up. Cursor for enter. Mod wheel at 0. Okay, they're both in sync, so they should be somewhere. They'll end up in somewhere. Whether it's a third or a triplet or a dotted note, it'll sort of should sound okay. If I put this as the resonance, it'll be in some sort of time. Let's do that. So what I've got there, I've got the filter being modulated by an LFO plus by the envelope generator that's being synced to the arpeggio and in a loop. So. Just turn that down a bit, it seems a bit, hope it's not distorted all the way through this. What I'll do is I'll stick a reverb on there, just to make it, you know, it's all a bit rough and ready this, but make it, see how it sounds sort of as it would possibly in a mix.